Hey YouTube, Ida321 here. Got another knife review for you. This time we're going to take a look at the steel wheel Modus. The main purpose of this video is just going to be a comparison against the Spyderco Tenacious, just to give you an idea of how they stack up against one another, give you my opinions on that. We'll also show you some size comparisons on other models as well. To start out with the specs on this guy, the blade length is 3.25, overall length of 7.625, thickness of the blade 0.11. It is D2 steel. The handle thickness measures at 0.50. It is FRN handle material. It's nice and lightweight at 3.41 ounces. Not too bad. It does have steel liners that are milled out. It is a liner lock. Just like with the previously I reviewed on my channel, the Cut Jack Mini, very similar if not the same machine work, just very nicely done. You can see that the lockup is just about perfect, and that the relief cut on the back of the blade tang is at a steep angle, so it is going to lock up tight for a long time. The texturing does vary a little bit. You can see on this pattern, it is somewhat different than what we got on the Cut Jack Mini. You can see that texturing. This looks a little better. I think this does offer a little bit better traction. If it'll focus, you can see on each one of those design elements there's also it's kind of stepped. You can kind of see that with a sharp ridge. Not sharp to the touch, but when you bear down, it bites in and just offers a little bit better traction than when you bear down and bite into this. But like I said, for me anyhow, this is just a little bit nicer looking. We get the steel wheel logo, model number F25, and then the D2 steel designation at the top. Just like with the Cut Jack series, the kicker, the flipper tab, got some jimping on it, some nice jimping on the liner lock as well. Backspacer, anodized aluminum. Lanyard hole in the backspacer. Screw heads are machined nicely. All the same size, the pivot and the torque size for the screw heads themselves. And just like before, like I mentioned, the this is kind of large, just the same diameter as it is on the rest of the screws, just allowing it to put a little bit more pressure on that clip as you bear down on it, so it's got excellent retention, good in the pocket. Like I said, a comparison against some other models, something a little bit more expensive, but give you an idea of size. There's the Benchmade bug out. See, overall length is a little bit more. Overall length on the Cut Jack Mini. You can see it's a slightly larger knife than that as well. For those of you who have the Rat 1, Rat 1 is bigger, beefier knife. Okay, now for the purposes of the video, we'll compare it against the Spyderco Tenacious. Okay, and here it is against the Spyderco Tenacious. You can see that they are very similar in size. Blade length, handle length, all the way around they're going to be very close. We'll go over real quick the comparison of the specs. Blade length on the Modus 3.25. Blade length on the Tenacious 3.39. Overall on the Modus 7.625. Overall on the Tenacious 7.76. Blade thickness, the Modus 0.11. The Tenacious 0.12. Handle thickness, the Modus 0.50. Tenacious 0.45. The weight comparable. The Modus is 3.41, Tenacious just a little bit more at 0.410. Then beyond that, the differences are the liners, G10 on the Tenacious, FRN on the Modus. But then we have more similarities. Steel liners on both. Recessed steel liners on the Modus. It's a nice feature. Both liners are milled. Liner lock on both knives. You can see the lockup. A little late. In the defense of the Spyderco, though, I have opened and closed this knife considerably more times than I have the Modus over the years. You can see the Modus lock up nice and tight. The relief cut on the Modus, just like it was on the Cut Jack Mini. Nice steep angle, so that's going to lock up for quite a long time, very securely. Relief cut on the Tenacious, not quite so much. One of the reasons why it's already starting to lock up late, and eventually will probably just rest against the other liner. So my pick on these two is going to be the Modus. I think the Modus just offers more knife at the same price point. Both these knives are coming in around $45. Blade steel on the Tenacious, 8CR13 MOV. Blade steel on the Modus. Again, we have D2 steel. So nice step up on the steel there for the Modus. This is going to handle corrosion resistance a little bit better. If that's what you're after, the Modus is going to be a tougher steel and hold its edge a little bit longer if that's what you're looking for. Lanyard tubes in both of them. Pocket clip capabilities on the Tenacious is a little better if you're needing something maybe with more compatibility. It's tip up or tip down, left or right. The Modus has the basics covered with left and right, but it is tip up only. Both phospho bronze washers, so the action is nice and smooth on both. The Modus, I think, being it is a flipper knife, it's crazy how smooth this knife is. For one, that it's only 45 bucks, and then two, once you realize and see that it's riding on the phosphorus bronze washers, it's just incredible how good that knife flips out there. Spyderco does well too, though, you know, with a Spidey flick. But there you can see I got it to lock up even later there that time. So, but overall, I think for me, the Modus just being a little bit lighter, a little bit better ergonomics, and the better steel, it's going to be the better, you know, the top choice for me and which one I'm going to carry. So ergonomics, the Spyderco, I think the handle length is a little longer. You can see I've got room for my pinky to nest in there, and then the thumb ramp, jumping on the thumb ramp, and then the Modus, I can get the full forefinger grip, but it's just not as much grip back here at the tail end as it is on a Tenacious, but it feels better in hand. You know, Spyderco for a long time, I felt that they were kind of like the leaders in ergonomics, just the way they were developing and designing their handle designs and the blade shapes and stuff, if you're going to be using the blade as part of your grip. But a lot of these companies have caught on and realized that that's what people are looking for, and they're starting to offer that. And then in the case of these two budget knives, I think Steel Will found out how to do it and did it a little bit better in this case at this price point. So but that's my 2 cents on it. Give it a look if you haven't seen one yet. I've got a video on my channel about the Cut Jack Mini. Smaller knife, but same company, same materials, same machining process. I may have compared this to the Persistence. If not, that would be a good direct comparison for the Spyderco Persistence. But yeah, I guess the Tenacious, the Steel Will wins for me. And let me know in the comments what you think. Maybe it's the same for you if you have it. If not, pick one up. Give it a shot. You'll like it. Alright, thanks for watching.